Hi, I'm John Kursky, and in part 5 of making you an AI-enabled Power BI developer, I'm going to show you how to set up the Power Query Lint MCP server. Now before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so you can stay up to date on all the new features and content we'll be putting out in the next couple of weeks. And with that, in the prior series, I showed you how to get up to the point where we're setting up GitHub Copilot, we're storing our Power BI semantic models in version control. Now I want to show you what you can do with an MCP remote server, particularly the Power Query Lint MCP server, to actually go through your Power Query code and tell you any issues or best practices you should apply. So up on my screen here, I'm at actually pqlint.com, and there is a set of instructions under API access. When I click API access, you should see there is a MCP integration. If I click on that, it's going to send me to a set of instructions. Now I'm going to walk step by step on how to set this up. So I'm going to go back to Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to pick up where we kind of left off here. I'm located in the Kursky branch, and at the top here, I need to set up a personalization or development settings in the .vs code folder. Now the best way to do that is in Explorer mode. I will click in a kind of the blank area here so that I have the contents of the root folder. Then I am going to hit the new folder button, type in .vs code, and then the next thing I'm going to do is, with that folder clicked, I'm going to then select the new file option and type in settings.json. Now when I go back to Power Query Lint, settings.json, I can actually, let me zoom in a little bit, copy this, and this is where we're going to keep our encrypted key so that we can interact with the Power Query Lint's MCP server. So I'm going to copy that, put it into settings.json, and I'm going to save. Control S. It's important you save, because otherwise I've had it where if you don't save this and you go to start the MCP server, it can't find the key or the configuration to look for where the key is. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is click on new file again and type in mcp.json. And at this point, I'm going to go back to Power Query Lint's website and copy step 2. Now here it is pointing to the Power Query Lint MCP server, and it's saying, hey, you need to provide the subscription key. So I'm going to hit save. And you'll notice now once I save, it's going to ask, would you like to start the MCP server? And I'm going to say yes. Now at this point up at the top, when I hit that start button, it's asking for the subscription key. Now where do I find that? Well, if I go to Power Query Lint and I'm signed in, you can copy the key right here. So I'm going to zoom in. You can copy the key that's created, and I'll go back. I'm going to paste that in, hit enter, and now it's started. Now at this point, I've got the MCP server set up, and I want to now start linting my Power Query code. I'm going to open up a new agent, new chat. Hide that. Show less there. Wow, okay. So what I'm going to do is show you in the agent mode. I want to make sure that if I click on the tools there, the pqlint MCP is selected. So it is selected. And now I'm going to drill into the tmdl files and show you if you want to look at just one tmdl file and lint it. Now notice I'm looking in the alignment dim here, and I've got the tmdl and the Power Query code here. I can notice the context is maintained, and once I paste, please look at the file and lint based on the rules provided. So once I hit enter, now that the agent's been registered, what it's going to do is understand what MCP tools are available. Since I used the word lint and it knows it's a tmdl file, the agent will look to see if it can use the Power Query Lint MCP server. And so now it's optimizing the tool selection. And at some point, I should get a prompt that it wants to go out and go to the MCP server. So it's reading the alignment dim. Now it's going to lint using the PQ linting tool. And at some point, I should get a prompt asking me, there we go. It's asking, can I go and call the MCP server, the remote one for Power Query Lint? I'm going to hit allow. And now it's telling me it found 14 violations, and it started to show me which specific violations I have. And it broke it down by the rules and what lines those occurred. Now I can also just go to the date dim and do the same thing. And one of the things I can do, let me just copy the prompt again, or I can just hit the up arrow, hit enter, and now it's going to look at the date dim because now the context is in the date dim file. So if you're actively using the chat, you can choose to pick the file, have the context, and then prompt, as long as the MCP server is registered and it's clicked in the agent configuration tools to use, it will leverage this MCP server to go out and lint the code. So I'm going to hit allow. Now it says it found some more violations in the date dim. Missing comments, generic step names, so I should be commenting this code. It also found sort order issue. I should be using table.buffer when I sort, because in the following steps I was using distinct, and I need to preserve the sort order. So that shows you how to do it on individual files. Well, maybe what I'd like to do is just have it lint everything. So I can give it a command like this, and I'll put this in the description in YouTube. Please look at all the tmdl files and lint based on the rules provided. Break down the issues by table, expression, function, and severity. Now it's going to look at all the tmdl files in the space and then lint them systematically. Now if I haven't set allow the MCP server to run for the whole session or whole workspace, I'm probably going to get several prompts, and you're going to see this show up here in a second. That's going to ask me to hit allow. All right, so I'm going to click on all these allows. I can always say just allow in this session as well, so that the next set ones will just go ahead and make that call. And now you can see that it is laying out all the rules and best practices that were in violation and breaking it down as I requested by table, by expression, and by function. All right, so I hope you learned something today. In this video, I showed you how to set up the Power Query Lint MCP server, and now hopefully you've got a good understanding of how to set up GitHub Copilot, set up MCP servers, and improve the way that you do Power BI development. So I appreciate your time, and until the next video, take care.